Hi guys, Togo here with a new video, and this video is again a Enhancement Shaman PvP discussion video, and I want to talk about Enhancement Shaman and why I feel like the community is a bit, I would say, torn, because Enhancement Shaman is in a position which is very rare for in World of Warcraft to happen. Not that rare, but it does happen. It is that PvP and PvE are completely different in performance. Like it's not even like 10% or 20% better. It's like literally night and day. It's between A to S tier spec in PvE, which is like relevant. Yes, in PvE it actually is performing very well, and the best players are making it very OP. But in PvP, for a lot of reasons, Enhancement Shaman is not okay. But I would say also on like different levels, I would say also the design level, also how it feels, how it plays, and in contrary, also how it performs versus other specs and other classes. It is just not in a great place and space. I wanted to prove people wrong that they put D tier enhancement shaman, while with my testing on the beta it felt a bit better. But now with like a bigger pool of players, with the possibility to play more PvP, the possibility to also play other classes and specs and compare them to each other, it does feel like enhancement shaman is just in a identity crisis. People that are very content on enhancement shaman right now, that's cool. I'm okay for you guys to have fun, and it's probably because you like the play style of enhancement genre currently, and maybe you don't want to lose it, or you feel like you didn't really know the past of enhancement genre and how it was, and you know it very recently, and you feel like okay, it always played like this, so get over it, kind of feel. But I'm going to talk about it a bit more in depth, right? So my problems with enhancement genre right now is if you're doing BGs right now, and everyone has bad gear. Like it's not like a gear problem, because whenever you're going into PvP, you get like eye level 600. Everyone is at 600, and you cannot go beyond that anyways. The only items that are not going beyond 600 is because it is from Dragonflight or it has a lower eye level. So you have to grind gear that has a higher eye level, and you will be going into 600 eye level. So that's not a problem. Like it's not like someone has overgeared me and I'm getting wrecked. The problem is everyone has shit gear. Everyone has like very basic gear, and enhancement shaman still performs like very terrible in PvP. I will say that the problems are that the design is made for PvE in mind, and it always probably is anyways. Like every single spec is designed with PvE in mind. That's why you have a lot of AoE abilities, that's why you have a lot of AoE caps, that's why you have also like a CC that is a bit like out of place, and you would think, why would you put that? It's probably for PvE, for example. Or the damage patterns, what like they are on purpose doing storm strike not really justice, because it's an easy ability to press, and you don't want to make it easy for enhancement shaman for some reason in PvE. In PvP though, the storm strike is really an ability that is purely there for maelstrom. It doesn't do too much damage, and the damage actually comes from multiple horizons. Like if you're doing storm strike, you're proccing awakening storm sometimes, which is doing more damage than a storm strike. So your Stormbringer hero taunt, which is a passive, does more damage, which is because it's nature, by the way. Nature skills with mastery, so obviously you will have way more utility beyond that. Awakening Storms does more damage than Storm Strike. It is ridiculous. And if you're thinking about Wind Fury is laughable damage. Like you do not have any damage coming from like Wind Fury. That's an example. Again, like everyone that has played Enhancement Shaman recently knows that Wind Fury has laughable damage. Like it is physical damage, which is proccing. The proc itself is 15k on a 4 million. Not 4 million was, yeah, 4 million. 4 million HP pool, which is not even 1%, not even 0.1%. It is below that. So why are we even discussing about it? Like PvE, they don't really want, like they don't care about like the Wind Fury damage or Storm Strike probably, because they don't really talk too much about it. But in PvP, I feel like my identity that was revolving around like Storm Strike and Wind Fury is just gone. So that's a problem, but also performing wise, like a lot of spells are there as a bloat or has problems with like literally existing. Like there is no point like playing around that. For example, we're playing a Lava Lash build right now, right? And the problem is with Lava Lash is that it is a very elemental shaman feel that SPEC plays like elemental shaman. If you have played Enhancement Shaman and you have played Elemental Shaman, you know what I mean. Literally, your damage comes from Lava Lash, which is cool. I guess that's an ability that was there since Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm. I might maybe say TBC. No, not TBC. I think Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, and further beyond. And then you have also your Frost Shock and you have also your Ice Strike, which you obviously play with that in PvP because you want to do the biggest possible Frost Shock possible. And then you have also your Elemental Blast, which does a lot of damage, and obviously your Lightning Bolt, aka Tempest, whenever it gets a proc, so you can do insane amount of damage with maybe, for example, Primordial Wave every 30 seconds. That's it. That is the spec, pretty much. You play around your Feral Spirits, you play around your Primordial Waves, you play around your Elemental Blast, you play around your Lava Lash, your Ice Strike, your Frost Shock, sometimes a Storm Strike to proc your Awakening Storms, for example, or to have a lucky Deeply Rooted Elements, which, to be fair, never really procs that much. You could even just like take it out and place it somewhere else, pretty much. This build is performing in a scale of it's okay, like it's existing. The problem is in PvP, if a spec is just existing, it may as well just not be there. That's how I feel. The damage patterns looks like Elemental Shaman, and God knows Elemental Shaman is doing okay right now, and that's good. I'm very happy for that because I'm also a sucker for Elemental Shaman, which probably this season I will be playing it because Enhancement Shaman just feels really bad. And I don't want to have like a level 80 that is just not used. At least not one of my main level 80s, right? I just think that PvE has taken such a big place for Enhancement Shaman that buffing it becomes very hard for the devs. The devs that don't play Enhancement Shaman don't know the struggle. They think, look, on paper it looks good, but on paper that's not the whole story. The whole story is you're getting kited around because, again, most of your abilities are actually melee. If you want to deal damage with Frost Shock, you have to do Ice Strike. And you have to also build Maelstrom to use your Elemental Blast, to use your Lightning Bolts, to use your Tempests. And then, obviously, you get your stacks for Frost Shock doing damage. Lava Lash is also a melee ability. So, obviously, if you want to deal damage, you want to be melee. But it is contrary with how it plays, because everything that is actually doing damage is a range ability. That aside, your defensives are still really crap. Astral Shift is still not usable while in stun. Your Burrow is something you have to pick and to play around, which is, it's fine. It's a 2-minute CD. It's a good CD. I just wish it was something that was maybe baseline or on class tree, which you could easily do that. I think in PvE, they might also, as well also be very happy. I think Grounding Totem still being a PvP taunt really sucks, in my opinion. There's still a lot of stuff that feel like it's out of place for Enhancement Shaman. For example, Ascendant is still a 3-minute CD, which I think in PvP, I mean in PvE, if you had Ascendance on every 2-minute CD, every 2 minutes, it could be maybe too strong. I don't know. But in PvP, it doesn't make sense to have a 3-minute CD on a pretty strong CD, but not strong enough to put it on a 3-minute CD because you have way more abilities that are more stronger than Ascendants that are, for example, 2-minute CD or more easy to use or have procs or have CDR, which is cooldown reduction. I also feel like whenever I'm playing BGs, again, something you can maybe confirm if you're playing it, it feels like you're healing more than you're doing damage. It feels like literally I am a worse healer and a worse DPS at the same time. 1v1s, you're correct. I think in duels you can do very well because, again, if there is no dampening, your healing surge actually heals for a lot. You can play for with Stormweaver, so that's a great thing, and I'm actually happy with that. It feels like self heals are okay in BGs and in duels. In arenas, it will be dampened, so again, it will not be the same. So obviously, it will feel worse for Enhancement Shaman. But outside of that, it feels like it's very hard to just dent someone. Like, it's already very hard whenever you see a healer against you and you want to try to, like, eliminate someone. It's literally impossible for an Enhancement Shaman. If you're playing like a Frost Decay, you can pull them two together and you can like make them use CDs, right? If you're playing unholy decays, you could actually just kill the healer if you are really potent with your class. If you're playing like a subtlety rogue, if you have all your CDs and the healer has no CDs, probably it's going to die. A healer doesn't need to pop CDs versus an enhancement shaman currently because the damage is very low. It's like two problems at once for PvP enhancement shaman. It is balancing, it is just not there. And I'm actually very scared right now because, again, like every single week I say, let's wait for balancing, let's wait for balancing, let's wait for balancing. But the issue is that since PvE is performing very well, they might just not look at enhancement shaman whenever it comes for PvP. And I'm very scared for that. Or they're going to look at the 1 or 2 or 3 like giga mains and enhancement shaman and say that they are performing, everyone should be performing, but they don't look at like how they play and with whom they play and what are the situations where they are in between like something like the 99% of the enhancement shaman community is in PvP. The problem is balancing, it's not okay. The problem is also design. I feel like I'm playing an elemental shaman whenever I want to play an enhancement shaman. Wind Fury is a laughable weapon imbue. Flame Tongue weapon, is it still something outside of like buffing your lava lash? Like, I remember the days where enhancement shaman weapon imbues were that much more important. Like something that was like really an identity to the spec. Everyone knows Wind Fury, as everyone knows Stormstrike, everyone knows Lava Lash. And I'm not saying like Lava Lash is the problem maker. The problem maker is Ice Strike, Frost Shock damage, Elemental Blast, Lightning Bolt, Tempest. All of this together is and probably will become the problem for enhancement shaman for the considerable future, because I want it to be more focused around your weapons and how you deal with it and the damage that you're doing it. Like, I think the lightning bolts are cool, the elemental blasts are cool, the frost shocks are doing some good damage is kind of cool, but I'm tired of Primordial Wave. I'm tired of like having to deal like 30% of my damage with lightning bolts and have like my storm strike at a 4% damage. I want them to remove all those passive procs. For example, Tempest Strike, remove it completely. Awakening Storms, take Storm Strike out for all I care. Put the damage back into Storm Strike. I want Storm Strike to be finally something that is bombastic whenever you're using. Whenever you're using, you're going to do 200k, 200k, for example, which is a good number in nowadays PvP settings, right? If you're doing a 200k, 200k Storm Strike, like with just one hit, it's okay. It's like a respectable hit. It's 10% of the HP of someone. That's okay. And whenever you're critting, it's going to go higher, obviously. And you can even remove the procs that are resetting Storm Strike. I don't know. Make it something that is a bit more attractive to play with, but also feels like, again, you don't need to have like 10 hands literally on your keyboards to be able to press everything on command. And again, it's something I can do. Like, I can press everything whenever I have to, but it doesn't feel comfortable. Like, I even leveled the Outlaw Rogue from like level 70 to level 80. I even PvP'd multiple times. I am actually way better geared on my Rogue than on my Enhancement Shaman because I actually have fun with my Outlaw Rogue. The two hero tons, although very bland and boring, they have like some sort of mini games around. For example, Unseen Blade, the mini game is actually like getting some resets towards your Unseen Blade, so you can have like your bigger dispatch, which is actually doing some okay damage or good damage actually if you're like doing a good build for it. You can play around that and have like multiple overlapping stacks where you get more damage at the end of the day. Or you're playing like the build with the fate-bound coins, for example, with heads and tails. And you want to proc it on the same coin, on the same side, and every time you're going to scale it up to 7 times, you get 7% agility, for example, till the end of the combat. And you then again have a bigger damage like proportion with whenever it goes on flip, for example. If you dare flip and you try to flip it 12 times, trust me, it does a lot of damage, like it's top 2 damage of your outlaw rogue, which is very, very cool. And it is something that you can play around with. It's RNG a bit, but you know what is going to proc like with certainty, so you can actually like build upon it. And you will probably need a weak aura for that. That's the only like sad thing about outlaw rogue. You will have and need probably multiple weak auras to track everything, but it feels like I press less buttons than Enhancement Shaman. I feel like I have more keybinds, while Outlaw Rogue was something known as a very keybind heavy spec. So whenever Outlaw Rogue is known as a keybind heavy spec, what is Enhancement Shaman at the end of the day? At the end of the day, it feels like you're pressing too many keybinds for less results. And I know the PvE guys are going to say, but my spec is S tier, what are you saying? Learn to play, look a guide. Guys, in PvP, it like, if you're saying that it's a good spec right now, I want to drink the same Kool-Aid, right? I want to be very happy about it. I want to be like satisfied of it. Like I would be the first in line to say that it's good, because I wanted to prove everyone that it was a good spec. At the end of the day, I got slapped around because of it. It is just not a great spec. I kind of regret it to level this first. The only thing that I can console myself is there is Elemental Shaman around the corner, which is a good spec, which is a respectable spec, which you can have fun in 1v1s, in duels, in RPGs, in random BGs, in arenas, and you can even do wall PvP and have fun with it as well. And you're very, like, it seems like you're more tanky than Enhancement Shaman as well, because they have a shield, which is, again, like, it's some armor, not too much, but it's still working, right? I just feel like kind of that I need more stuff for Enhancement Shaman to happen, and I am afraid it's going to be for Season 1. I'm afraid that it's going to be way further beyond Season 1. I want it to be for Season 1, but it's not going to happen. They're not going to redesign the spec. They're not going to make it the spec that I would like to play. Like I told my friends, like, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm playing the spec not how the devs would like me to play the spec, and that's okay. Like, I have expectations that were maybe not met and will never be met, on retail at least. If I would like to have a good spec that I would like to play, for example, I would probably go on Mist of Pandaria Classic. Probably. I think I would have more fun. I think I would have even more fun on SOD Enhancement Shaman, although it's pretty crap, but I would have more fun because I would be able to play the spec that I known before all of these like changes that are more like Elemental Shaman focused. And if you want it to be Elemental Shaman focused, then make Stormstrike at least like nature damage. Make something like you don't have physical damage anymore, because clearly it's something you don't want us to be anyways. So make Wind Fury nature damage, make Stormstrike nature damage, or Stormstrike as like tooltip or whatever, like for example Fury Warriors has with Mountain Tane. But yeah, that's pretty much like a discussion about Enhancement Shaman that I wanted to have, because again, people don't understand the reason why the devs have difficulties with buffing us is because in PvE it is performing very well. And I'm afraid, because of that the paradox will make us actually not getting buffs or changes in PvP. Like, they are probably like very satisfied with how it plays in PvE. I think design wise, even if it's good, I would still have complaints, but at least it would be good. But I don't like ask them to make it OP in PvP, right? I don't want it to be OP to the point where everyone is re-rolling Enhancement Shaman. That's not my goal. But I want it to be like respected. I don't feel like I get respected whenever I'm playing PvP as Enhancement Shaman compared to Elemental Shaman. I feel like whenever I see Elemental Shaman currently, it feels very scary to play versus. Like it's whenever I'm on my, for example, Rogue right now, if I see Elemental Shaman, I have to think twice before I actually like do something, because I know they can just like blow me. I have to have Cloak. If I don't have Cloak, then it's over probably. Or I have to have like a great CC and like my usage of CDs. But if I see an Enhancement Shaman, it's pretty much free food, pretty much. Like I do evasion when I feel like if it plays around Doom Winds. I press Cloak whenever I feel like he does a prom on your wave. I just like cloak it away. There's multiple ways to deal with it, but I think Elemental Shaman has a bit more currently. And I think that's the way to go. If you want to play with Enhancement Shaman, you have to play like Elementalist build, probably this build, for example. With Stormbringer, I tested Tempest, I didn't like it, and I didn't touch it since level 77 pretty much. But like Stormbringer is the way to go. I like Tempest. They made something good out of like Stormbringer. Tempest is really scary. It does a lot of damage, which is cool, and it is also looking very cool. But I think Enhancement Shaman needs a whole design rework, but also a class like balancing rework. I think damage should be a bit more like focused and centralized. Like for example, all those passives, put it on the damage of Storm Strike. I think Flame Shock should have a bit less damage. For example, I put it on Lava Lash instead. I think Frost Shock should have a bit less damage, except whenever you are like doing an Ice Strike, which should be like something that is replacing your Storm Strike with, for example. So if you have a proc, you get an Ice Strike instead of your Storm Strike, and it will improve your Frost Shock, for example. And it will do more damage, obviously, because it's a proc. But I think right now you have too many buttons for like less results. But anyways, let me know what you think about this video, about Enhancement Shaman. I'm very sorry for a lot of people that might probably play Enhancement Shaman and thought that in PvP it could be like good. I think right now you could make it work if you have full gear, maybe. But even then, all the other specs have also full gear and full like eye level capacity, and your stats are also going to be correct versus you. So again, it's not like an only Enhancement Shaman problem. Everyone has shit gear right now. So obviously, if you have good gear, other people will have also good gear. It will depend on scaling. And Enhancement Shaman currently doesn't scale well. Like at least on the beta, it doesn't really seem like it is very different, like damage wise. But we'll have to see. Again, hopefully you understand the video. Currently, I leveled my rogue. For the people that want to know, and it was a blast. Like I played Outlaw Rogue the whole way through. I played a bit of subtlety once I had like a dagger at level 80, which was also very fun. Like I think Trickster and Deathstalker is actually like more fun than I thought, and like the damage is really surprising as well. I think the cool factor is not there, but I think the gameplay is very cool, so that's a good thing actually. And Outlaw Rogue is surprisingly like fun in PvP. Like I dueled so many like people and actually have a great time with it. So we'll have to see. Again, thank you for watching this video. Really appreciate you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet, and we will catch each other probably very soon in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.